I don't need to tell you that Xbox Series X and S games look great. But here's what you need to do if you want to make them look their very best. You always need the right tool for the job, and when it comes to making your games look their very best, well, that starts with a screen. There's lots of debate out there about what's better, you know, TVs, monitors, all of that. It all depends on your preference, your setup, etc. Let's take a look at both then, figure it out. Now myself, I do have both, but let's talk about TVs in particular and what you want to be looking for console gaming. Now, you're going to need a TV with a high refresh rate, 120 Hz in particular. Of course, a 4K display is always very nice. Now, whether you've got a Series X or a Series S, you should also be looking for something that has an HDMI 2.1 port and that you've actually got your console plugged in to the correct one so that you can enjoy your games at their very finest. I'm getting Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown downloaded right now so that I can enjoy that in native 4K at 120 FPS. Trust me, it looks truly regal. Monitors, on the other hand, tend to have the advantage when it comes to input lag with an especially seamless experience. So if you're sort of more of this competitive multiplayer kind of gamer, where those split seconds really add up, well, that might be the correct way to go for you. Asus offer some brilliant gaming monitors in particular in a wide range of screen sizes, and their ROG series, for example, is full of absolutely elite hardware featuring most up-to-date specs like OLED displays and ultra-fast response times, while their Tough range is great for gamers on a budget who still want a rock-solid performance from their monitor, but, you know, without having to spend too much. We do use some of the ROG range in our studio when we're streaming on Twitch, and honestly, the colors, the response time, everything about them is great, whether we're playing Warzone, whether we're playing Diablo, perfect. For my next trick, why don't we get those settings straightened out? So we'll start with the console itself. On the console, if you head into the settings app and then into the TV and display options, you'll find a section called 4K TV details, which tells you exactly what your screen is capable of and allows you to make sure stuff like 120 FPS and HDR is actually switched on. Looks like we're good to go. We don't have Dolby Vision on this, but at least we know what we're playing with. Most modern TVs also come with a display setting called game mode or something similar, which, as you can probably guess by the name, is specifically designed for gaming by helping to decrease things like latency, making things all the more responsive. For most modern TVs, it probably will come on automatically when you're using your console, but it's worth just having a poke around to check if it isn't enabled automatically. So just switch it on, agree to the power consumption increase, and game away. Worth noting that many games also come with their own set of visual settings that allow you to get the visuals just the way you like them. For example, games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which is now available on Game Pass by the way, lets you pick a buttery smooth 120 FPS mode, which is ideal for those more intense multiplayer matchups, and there's also a higher resolution 60 FPS one for when you just want to experience the full cinematic spectacle of the action in campaign. So now that your screen's all set up, you're probably looking to really see what your Xbox Series X or S can do, and that means you're going to want to seek out the games that have actually been optimized for the newest generation of consoles. At this point in the cycle, most new games that do release fall into that category anyway, but if you do want to see the full catalog, there's a really easy way to do it. Head into the store and then select Browse All Games, or just head over to the Optimized for Xbox Series X or S section, hit the filter button, and then that opens up a whole range of options that even allow you to zero in on specific features like ray tracing, which really does make things look all the more realistic when it comes to lighting. What I find particularly handy about this is that you'll also be able to see all of the older titles that have subsequently got some next-gen updates. I mean, we've got the Halo Master Chief Collection, we've got Dark Forces Remaster, very nice, but also other games like Cyberpunk 2077, a whole bunch of classic Resident Evil titles, as well as The Hunt Showdown, which is also doing a full next-gen relaunch this month, so look out for that one. It's also well worth considering that it's not just brand new titles or the ones that have gotten the actual next-gen upgrades that can look tremendous on Xbox Series X or S either, because thanks to FPS boost and auto HDR, quite a lot of games from the backwards compatible catalog also now look so good for their age that it's kind of unsettling. You know, a bit like Paul Rudd, I suppose. Most FPS boost compatible games will have that feature turned on automatically when you load them up, but you can actually toggle it off and on manually by going to the My Games and Apps screen, highlighting the game in question, hitting the menu button, selecting Manage Game and Add-ons, and then opening up its compatibility options. If you do switch it on, you'll be able to experience titles like Hollow Knight, Smite, and yes, even Untitled Goose Game in an oh-so-smooth 120 FPS. But while you're poking around in those compatibility options menus, you can decide whether or not to let Auto HDR really bring up the vibrance of the colors in the game as well, assuming that it's a title that supports that feature, of course. And I think both of these features are really great, but if you're more of a nostalgic gamer, you can obviously switch them off if you want to and experience all of your old favorites in their dim, choppy glory. Bit weird, but up to you. So while graphics are always the first thing that typically catches your eye, game developers have been doing some incredible things with audio in recent years too, and the Xbox Series X and S both take full advantage of that with its spatial sound tech. The first one I want to talk about is Windows Sonic, and it's a pretty remarkable bit of tech that can actually be used with any of your headphones. It gives you a wider, more immersive soundscape to enjoy your games on, kind of like surround sound, but bang on your head. It's also super simple to set up. You just head into the settings menu like this, head to general, volume and audio output, and in here under headset audio, you're going to find a few options and Windows Sonic is right there. It might be enabled by default, but if it isn't, bang it on, you will notice the difference immediately. Some of your other options are Dolby Atmos as well. Now this is proprietary technology that will require a Dolby Atmos compatible set of headphones, plus you'll also need to download the Dolby Access app and make sure that you've got a Dolby Atmos license. Sounds like a lot, but it does have a huge difference in what you're experiencing in a game. You just play this with anything like Hellblade or Alan Wake 2, and honestly, the way it smothers you in audio has to be experienced. All right, enough yapping from me. Go out there, try your games, tell me if they look any better. But if you want to hear some more tips to make them look even sharper in the future, make sure you hit the subscription button, ring the bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!